Hello, traders. FX Pip Collector here. Today is Thursday, February 19th, and this is my morning market breakdown of the US dollar pairs, including gold and a couple of the yen pairs. We always start off on the dollar index because that basically tells me exactly what to do on the euro, the pound, the Aussie, the CAD, and the Swiss. Definitely not so much for gold because gold does whatever gold wants to do. So, anyways, like I've been saying for at least a week now, I mean, I still personally think this is an A or a 1. I think it's more likely an A. I think this is a B or a 2. I think it's a B. And it could go up for a wave C, which if it is a wave C, would probably go up to about the 100% Fibonacci extension and then go back down. Or if it's really actually a wave 3, then it potentially could go up and give us the daily time frame breaker structure. So if we're continuing to be bullish on the dollar index, that means that we should know exactly what we primarily should be doing on all six of these dollar pairs, which would be looking for shorts on the euro, the pound, the Aussie, looking for longs on the dollar CAD and the dollar Swiss. If we go down to the 4 hour time frame, this is where we can start to see the structure of the move up. The most recent structure is way down here, so it could definitely make a move down as long as it doesn't break this low right here. Any move down that we see could just be a pullback within an uptrend. So, the dollar definitely could make a pullback, and it definitely could just end up making another higher low and just going up and make new higher highs. So, we are definitely bullish the dollar index, which means I'm going to be bearish the euro dollar. So going to the euro dollar, I mean, over this whole week and a half or so, I've been saying, yes, this move down looks corrective, but I don't think that it's corrective because of what I see on the dollar index. I still think that this is going to end up taking out these previous lows right here. Now, just like the dollar index, it could end up making a little bit of a push up, and it could end up making a lower high and just keep on going down. I definitely would be recommending shorts in a downtrend because of what I see on the dollar index. I do really think it really simplifies your life dramatically if you just really focus on the dollar index and then you trade the dollar pairs based on that analysis. So going down to the 1 hour time frame is where we got our Fibonacci retracement on this whole move down right here. I'm looking for three waves up to any one of these fib levels. I don't really care which one it is. The 38% could be the level because there's a bottom over here. Bottoms could become tops, could go up to the 50, could go up to the 61%. It doesn't really matter what fib level it goes to. It matters that you can recognize, see it in a nice engulfing move to the downside at a Fibonacci level as your next sorting opportunity. So moving on to the pound dollar, my analysis is basically the same for every single dollar pair, which is also based on the dollar index. I do think that yes, we did just take out this low, and maybe that will cause a little bit of a pullback. And even if it does cause a pullback, I think it's just a pullback within a downtrend. The dollar index is definitely telling us to be bullish dollar, so that means we need to be bearish pound dollar. Going down to the 1 hour time frame, that's where we would put our Fibonacci retracement on the whole last push down, which is very clearly five waves, by the way. One, two, three, four, five waves down. Very, very nice little move to the downside. Now, it looks like it needs to make a more proper, three-way pullback and maybe end up doing something like that. But really, I would just be paying very, very close attention to my fib levels. If it makes a nice engulfing move to the downside at any fib level, I would definitely take it as a short. This could end up being a very strong move to the downside, and it could just make small pullbacks and continuation patterns. So I would prefer to see more of a three-way pullback like this, maybe like a 50 or a 61% pullback, but I would take whatever the market gives me. So keeping that in mind, moving on to the Aussie dollar, back up to the daily time frame. Same thing on the Aussie dollar. The Aussie is still pretty strong overall, but we definitely have engulfed to the downside. I do agree this move down still could end up being a pullback to this move up. It still could end up making a higher low, but it could also go down to the 61 or the 78% before it decides to make a higher low and end up pushing back up again. Dollar index is definitely telling us to be bearish Aussie dollar as well. So going down to the 1 hour time frame, this one's a little different because it looks like it's making a flat. It looks like impulsive up. It looks like one, two, three waves down, and now it looks like it's making another impulsive up. It could be a running flat, which means that it could turn up to 61, 78%, making a lower high and then continuing down from there, which is kind of what I'm hoping for. Or it could end up being more like an expanding flat, which that could end up making a higher high, pushing up to like the 100 or maybe even higher than that. I'm kind of hoping to see a little bit of a running flat. I'm hoping to see a lower high right here, and I'm hoping to see it go down and make a new lower low because that would be for a really nice short today. So moving on to the US dollar CAD, same exact story as all the other dollar pairs. The US dollar CAD, like I've been saying for the last several days, it's either an A or a 1. B or 2, very similar to the dollar index, and 3 or C. If it's a wave C, then it would likely go to about the 100%, which is right around the 1.376 area, then turn back down. If it's a wave 3, then it needs to make higher highs, higher lows, and it needs to go up and give us a break of structure eventually. So at this point, we are definitely still bullish. I don't really see any reason not to be bullish. Going down to the 1 hour time frame is where we would use Fibonacci retracement to hopefully help us find areas of support. Really, I think the 50 or the 61% is the most likely because there's a valley-based valley area right here that it potentially could respect. But really, any one of these fib levels, it could be the level that it turns at. If it makes like a nice engulfing move to the upside at any one of these levels, I definitely am taking it as a long because the higher time frames are definitely telling us to look for longs, and the dollar index is definitely telling us to be bullish dollar, which means we should be bullish the dollar CAD as well. Moving on to the US dollar Swiss, back up to the daily time frame. Dollar Swiss is very similar to the dollar CAD right now. It's either an A or 1, first push up, B or 2, which actually this one seems even more clear that it's a B or 2. And now we're probably in a C, which a C would look like this and then go back down. Or it's a wave 3, and a wave 3 will just keep on making higher highs, higher lows. If it's a wave 3, we will recognize it as a wave 3 because it will not break structure to the downside, but instead it will just continue making higher highs and higher lows the whole way up. So moving down to the 1 hour time frame, anything we see to the downside could just end up being a pullback within an uptrend. I would have liked to have seen a bigger pullback than what we got, but this possibly could be the end of a pullback already. It could already be heading back up. The trend really needs to be your friend on these dollar pairs because I think there's no reason to think that the dollar is not going to keep pushing up. Even if it does push down, as long as it doesn't break this low right here, it's potentially just a pullback within an uptrend. So definitely looking for long opportunities on this. Potentially there was already a long opportunity this morning, and it might just keep on pushing up from here. Now moving on to gold, which is kind of a favorite of many people except for myself. I personally do not trade gold. I trade everything on the list right here except for gold. Now, I still think gold is going up to the 61 or potentially the 78% Fibonacci retracement. I still think that we're in a wave B or possibly a wave 2, and this is a wave A or possibly a wave 1. A wave B or a wave 2 definitely can make a new high also, and oftentimes gold does make expanding and running, patterns in a corrective pattern, and an expanding or a running pattern would make a new all-time high. So, I would expect it to go to the 61 or the 78%, but it potentially could go a lot higher than that. Moving down to the 1 hour time frame, I mean, as of right now, we are definitely in an uptrend unless it breaks this low right here. If it breaks that low, which let me zoom out just a little so everybody can see this. If it breaks this low right here, then we would put our Fibonacci retracement on where the series of higher highs, higher lows started. It started way down here at the bottom. So if it does decide to break this low, then put your Fibonacci retracement on the whole move up because very likely, even if it does take out this low, it's still just going to be a pullback to the whole move up on like the 1 to 4 hour time frame. But as of right now, I would be looking at this move down as possibly just a pullback to the last wave up. Maybe watch this on the 30-minute or 15-minute time frame, see if you get a nice fib bounce, see if you get another nice entry to go long. I still, like I said, on the higher time frames, think that gold's going to go at least to the 61% Fibonacci retracement on the daily. So my next big area of resistance on the daily is right around the 5,144, 5,145 area. So obviously that makes me very bullish on the shorter time frames. Moving on to the yen pairs, all the yen pairs did make a pretty decent little turn up. They definitely finally did engulf, which I've been saying that they probably would for the last several days. Now the question over the next few trading days is going to be, is it a pullback to this move down? Meaning that it goes to a fib level and then breaks to down and continues down, or is it going to maintain higher highs, higher lows, and just keep on going up? We do not know the answer, and I don't really think it's important to know the answer because we're just going to continue to look for longs on shorter time frames unless we get a break to the downside at a Fibonacci level. If we do get a break to the downside at a fib level, we'll just simply start looking for shorts again. So going down to the 1 hour time frame, I have my Fibonacci retracement on where the series of higher highs, higher lows started, and it's technically started right here because that's high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high. So that's where the series of higher highs, higher lows started. Now, it doesn't even necessarily have to take out this low. It could end up making another higher low and just keep on pushing up, especially if it's going to continue to trend. So if it does break this, then I would expect to see anywhere between a 38 and a 78% pullback, probably more likely like a 50 or a 61. But like I said, it doesn't even really have to make that big of a pullback. It could make another higher low, and just keep on pushing up. We are definitely in an uptrend on these shorter time frames, and market flow has definitely turned up on the daily. So we are definitely looking for longs every single chance we get. And moving on to the euro yen, all the yen pairs did finally, break to the upside pretty nicely yesterday. Just like the dollar yen, the question now is it a pullback to this move down, meaning that it's going to go someplace between the 38 and the 78%, break down and continue the downtrend? Or is it now reversing to the upside and now it's going to make higher highs, higher lows? Based on the weekly time frame, I do see the possibility that all these yen pairs just keep on going up and making new highs on the daily. It definitely is possible. So going down to the 1 hour time frame, that means that anything we see to the downside, we definitely want to assume could just be a pullback within an uptrend. Technically, our last structure is right here, so it could technically end up making another higher low and just going up again. If it's a pullback to the whole series of higher highs, higher lows, then we would want a Fibonacci retracement on the whole move, and we would expect someplace between the 38 and 78% pullback. We don't know that it's a correction to the whole series of waves because it has a broken structure. It could just be a pullback to the last wave of this trend, which the last wave of the trend is from here to here. So it definitely could end up making another higher low, and it definitely could end up just pushing up, continuing the series of higher highs and higher lows. Every time we approach one of these daily Fibonacci levels, we do need to pay attention just in case it does decide to break structure to the downside at a Fibonacci level on the daily time frame. But it definitely hasn't done so yet. Moving on to the pound yen. Now, the pound yen is actually one of the only yen pairs that actually didn't turn to the upside. Yes, this is very consolidated, but we still do not have an engulfing move to the upside. The market flow is still down on this time frame. The trend is still down based on structure. So technically, we should still be bearish on this pair. So taking that into consideration, going all the way down to the 1 hour time frame, I mean, we technically do not have a break of structure to the downside yet, but I mean, this could all just be one big sideways pullback. This could be an A, this could be a B, this could be a C, and this thing could literally just go all the way back down and make new lows. Like I said, this is actually one of the only yen pairs that actually didn't confirm a move to the upside because it never engulfed up on the daily and it definitely never broke structure to the upside yet, even on this time frame. The structure is right here and it definitely never broke the structure to the upside. So, I would definitely still be looking at anything I see to the upside as possibly a pullback within the downtrend, especially if we get a break to the downside on the 1 hour. Then we would want to look for pullback entries for sure to continue to go short for the continuation of the downtrend. So anyways, definitely don't forget to check out my website, fxpipcollector.com, especially if you want to follow along with all my trades. And if you want to be part of a great trading community on Discord where we help each other out, try to solve the puzzle that is these markets. So anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching and happy trading.